Greetings everyone, it's Thomas Mooneygal, and this month I'm going to talk a little bit about how to get the most out of a session with me. Or just in general, just maybe if you're watching one of the other shifting videos on YouTube. And one of the first things is to, as much as possible, let go of fear of what might happen. I have rule sets set up so that all change happens in the gentlest way they can possibly happen, and that nothing that I do should hurt anybody. So that's number one, so you can stop worrying about that. Now, of course, the gentlest way possible could still sometimes, depending on what is going on, still be a little bit jarring or sudden or unnerving, because all change is, frightening in some sense. That said, I would say the next thing is that recognize that I am a facilitator for change. So while some people do just have immediate amazing responses to stuff just like completely shifting in their body or something coming out of the blue, sometimes what happens is a lot more subtle, and that doesn't mean it's not working. It just means that I'm providing part of the energy and you are providing the other part. So a lot of things come in coincidentally. So a lot of people are looking for this big, I would say, magical special effects is what they're looking for. And I'm not Hollywood, so I don't always have a huge special effects budget. But the job gets done. So, if you're looking for bells and whistles, um, I don't guarantee bells and whistles. I just try to do my work as best as I can. Which brings me to the next point. This is a participatory process. So I will ask things of you in a session to notice, what's going on in a certain area when I'm working, to track a certain sensation, to see if we're on the same page, to see if we're in sync, and we're in rapport with one another. And then also, during a session, I may give instructions for things for you to do, either during the session or practices that you need to start incorporating into your life on a daily basis. And really, particularly people who are working with me extensively through my year program, that's where the real big changes happen, is that, I will be adjusting your energies. But at the same time, what you do with those energies and how you take those forward into your life, into the world, is going to really fall squarely on your shoulders. So if I say, start practicing this meditation or call this in on a daily basis, and you maybe do it once or twice and then forget about it, well, you're not going to have the same results as someone who is really, putting that stuff into practice. I always tell people it's like brushing your teeth. Energetic maintenance, You don't just brush your teeth once or twice or expect the dentist to brush them for you, once or twice a year. That won't have the impact that a daily, small little practice like brushing your teeth, which doesn't take a lot of time, but if done consistently, really does pay off. And it's the same thing with a lot of the practices that I suggest for people to do. So I do give homework. I do give follow-up stuff. And it's really important that people go and move with that. And then, of course, the other thing is, particularly when we're working with manifesting particular possibilities, you have to pursue leads. So, if I'm working on it and you're trying to bring more abundance, trying to improve your career, you have to make phone calls. You have to pursue things. You can't just sit in your space and expect checks to arrive from nowhere from doing nothing. I mean, I guess some people have those kind of results, but if you want consistent abundance, you're going to also have to put energy out into the world as well. You're going to have to provide something of value. And that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a painful process. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to feel like work. Sometimes I tell people to get out and go dancing. So I try to make my assignments as doable and easy as possible. And sometimes I like to make them fun whenever I can because, I always like getting fun assignments myself. Hey, go do this fun thing, and it'll help improve your life. So, the other thing is being so fixated on one thing. And I know people are going to come see me for a reason. Um, or, they want to give their power to me to fix something. And I would prefer to get things in ways where they can fix themselves. If they even need fixing. A lot of people come to me because of energetic entanglements with other people. And a lot of people have a misunderstanding of what about being cursed. And the reason I want to talk about that is because I do know there are practitioners or readers who will say, hey, I'm reading you, and oh, I see you've got this curse on you, and I can take care of that. You just have to come back for 6 more sessions at $75 each. Which, to me, if I ever meet those practitioners, I'm usually polite because, I don't know for sure, but I don't think great thoughts about people like that. Because what happens for me is that then this person comes in with this lingering fear that they are deeply cursed and they're continually looking over their shoulder. And then what happens is they draw negative energy to them because of that fear and belief. It makes my job that much harder. Because the mechanics of a curse are when someone actually does curse you, and activates something that's already in your field. We all have these little things sticking up in our fields that are like our little weak spots, that, or little pressure points. And and it's like a little Velcro hook, and so a curse comes in and it sticks on that, activates that pattern in us that's already there. So if we do our work and we clean ourselves off, and we continually are working on our growth and our development and, our life, then we can become like Teflon, where it's just like, there's nothing for it to stick onto. Of course, the most powerful curse is actually the ones that we, when we curse ourselves. So, repeating to ourselves, oh, I'm not good enough, or, oh, I'm not attractive enough to find someone who will love me, or I'm not smart enough, or any of those things that we repeat and report to ourselves about is a curse. And so one of the things when you're working with me is I'm going to be really hard on that sort of part of yourself that wants to really beat up on yourself. So if you can let go of some self-criticism, you're going to have a much better time and a much better result with session work. And I think just a much better life in general. So be gentle with yourselves and see if any of this information is helpful. And please like, share, subscribe, post to social media. If you have any comments, put them down there and I will try and answer them, because this topic is a huge one and it's too big to be covered in just one video. Oh.